So there's one question that jumps out at me as I read this passage, and it's the question that Pilate asks the crowd when he's trying, if you like, to sort of save Jesus. He says, "Well, why? What crime has he committed?" In verse 14, what's he done that he deserves this death, this crucifixion? Of course, they don't answer the question; they just shout louder, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And that's a question that's almost worth rereading the passage at the front, having it at the front of our minds. What crime has Jesus committed to mean that he's going through this? There's something instinctive in all of us as human beings that when we see someone who's innocent suffer, we instantly know that that's wrong. There's something in us that recoils if we see a baby or a child particularly going through some sort of suffering. And in the same way, we also instinctively in our guts, we know that goodness should be rewarded and prized and cherished. And in Jesus, we meet a person who is both of those things. He's perfectly innocent. He has no crimes that he's committed. But also, more than that, he's incredibly, wonderfully, fiercely good as a person. And so goodness is not simply just not doing bad things. It's positively bringing a change, a wholeness, a life. And so the way that he treats people, the tax collectors and the prostitutes and the people that everyone in the culture just despised and couldn't be near, he brings them wholeness. He sets them free. He opens the eyes of the blind. He heals people who've got skin conditions that there's no chance of getting healed from. He even raises people who are dead back to life again. Like, goodness just emanates from him as a person. Wherever he goes, he's a force for good. What crime has he committed that he deserves this? And of course, there isn't an answer to that because he hasn't committed any crime. There's another question, though, that is worth us pondering as we read this passage. And the question is, what crimes have we committed? Because Jesus isn't going to the cross for his crimes. He's going to the cross for yours, and he's going to the cross for mine. He takes our crimes to the cross. And when he's put to death, and we're going to read about his death tomorrow, there's a finality about that. He's dead. We know the resurrection is going to happen, but he's dead. And in the same way, when he goes to the cross for my crimes and your crimes, those crimes are dealt with completely. They are dead. They are done. So whatever it is that we feel like is cutting us off from God, we have to remember now, on the cross, that crime is put to death. When Jesus dies, that's what happens. He's incredibly good, and actually in his death we come to realize the extent to which he truly is good news for you and I. He's willing, astonishingly, astoundingly, to go through this because of my crimes and because of yours. What a good Saviour he really is.